When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, MeK Wi Talk, my people, MeK Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. MeK Wi Talk, people, MeK Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, MeK Wi Talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, MeK Wi Talk, my people, MeK Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. MeK Wi Talk, people, MeK Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, MeK Wi Talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves.
Good morning, welcome to a special edition of the MeK Wi Talk program. This program this morning is courtesy of a live feed that BOJ TV had last night. And I wanted to just show this of what Jamaica's former Prime Minister PJ Patterson has outlined, learning from history. And believe you me, he gave a good lecture last night. In case you didn't see it, we're going to dig deep in this. For those who are just joining us, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Like, share, and subscribe to the program. Like, share, and subscribe to this program. I just want you all to know something here. That this morning, as we come on air, and as we dig deep in the situation or the lecture that the former Prime Minister has given to Jamaica, believe you me, it's something that you all must share this. Let everybody come over here and listen to this, because PJ Patterson has opened up my eyes to a lot of things. The former Prime Minister has opened up my eyes to a lot of things by listening to what he said last night. And share up this live feed. Share it as much as you can. Welcome to the program. We only have 18 people in the chat on the program right now. Share this program as much as you can, because you may wonder why Jeffrey starts so early. We have to start early because we have 3 more other programs to do today. And I want you all to listen to what Mr. Patterson has to say. Believe you me, it opened up my eyes to a lot of things. Without further ado, let us go into it. I hope you all can hear me clearly. Let's all go deep into this. This is courtesy of BOJ TV. We don't own the copyrights to this. Let me go here. Put this right here, yes. And let us go into this and let us listen to what the former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Percival James Noel Patterson, PC, QC, ON, King's Counsel, former Prime Minister of Jamaica and former President of the People's National Party. This is what he said last night. Listen to what he says.
Mr. Lloyd Smith, known to us all as the Governor. Mr. Clayton Morgan, Chairman of the Region 6 Outreach Commission.
That's right.
Comrade Mark Golding,
Respect.
President of the People's National Party. And I'm so delighted to see Mrs. Golding with him. Comrade Beverly Manley, candidates, ladies and gentlemen, comrades, room full, all full, we're going to get a spoonful.
A belly full.
Let me thank the governor, first of all, for being so kind. I get very upset when I am being introduced and they try to tell portions of my life story. You are going to hear some portions of my life story from me tonight.
Great.
I want to commend Mr. Clayton Morgan and the committee for organizing this event. I didn't tell him it was not a political event. It is, but it is not a political rally.
Right.
And the difference is it's sponsored by the People's National Party. I'm very proud and pleased to be here in that regard. But we have always understood that any party, and particularly the People's National Party, as I will establish later, has an obligation to reach beyond the confines of its membership and to be in touch with persons in various sectors and in various groupings who may have a different political outlook than the one we share in common.
Correct.
This is a meeting where my remarks are going to be addressed with you in mind. So it's not one to lick shots.
No.
And I want everybody to be comfortable. I can't help remembering that it was on the 5th of February 1972 that I had the pleasure of standing beside Michael Manley as we launched the most memorable, historic, and delightful political campaign which resulted in our victory in 1972. I don't know if history is going to repeat itself this time round, but I've been called from the pavilion and I'm pleased to come as an opening batsman to the series which is going to be held in Region 6. And I see the trap being set for me already. Because the other two parishes.
I want to say welcome to everyone who's just joining us. Welcome. Share this live feed. Share up this live feed. We're going to learn a lot from former Prime Minister PJ Patterson, the Most Honorable Percival James Noel Patterson, former Prime Minister of Jamaica and former President of the People's National Party. We're going to learn a lot from him this morning because he spoke about constitution. He spoke about the whole idea of they calling Mark Golding not a Jamaican. They're saying he's not a Jamaican. He speak about a lot of things. And I want you all to come on in this morning and learn from Jamaica's former statesman of all time. One of Jamaica's former statesmen who's really dig deep. And I learned a lot from him last night when I listened to it. And I want you all to listen to it this morning and learn from it.
I come by descent. I'm a son of Hanover. I represented Westmoreland, but I am a child of St. James. I think as we launch on our discourse, as Jamaicans, we need to be reminded affiliation to a party is a good thing, but our allegiance is to Jamaica, the nation.
You hear what the Prime Minister said? An affiliation to a party is a good thing. This is Jamaica's former Prime Minister telling us this morning. An affiliation to a party is a good thing. But an allegiance to a country, your first priority must be the country of Jamaica. That's the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Percival James Noel Patterson, is telling us that our allegiance is to Jamaica, not PNP, not JLP, not UIC, not Marcus Garvey movement, but to this piece of rock that we call home, Jamaica. Let's listen to what he said again. Hold on there for me. Go back here for a little bit. Listen to what he says.
1972, that I had the pleasure of standing beside Michael Manley as we launched the most memorable, historic, and delightful political campaign which resulted in our victory in 1972. I don't know if history is going to repeat itself this time round, but I've been called from the pavilion and I'm pleased to come as an opening batsman to the series which is going to be held in Region 6. And I see the trap being set for me already. Because the other two parishes, I come by descent. I'm a son of Hanover. I represented Westmoreland, but I am a child of St. James. I think as we launch on our discourse, as Jamaicans, we need to be reminded affiliation to a party is a good thing, but our allegiance is to Jamaica, the nation. Out of many, one people.
What he's saying, what the Prime Minister is saying. Thank you. I know you don't hear me a while ago. I do apologize. He's saying that our affiliation to a political party is okay. It is okay. It is okay to be affiliated with a party, but our allegiance is to the country of Jamaica first and foremost. So when we come and talk, we are die-hearted this and die-hearted that. PJ Patterson is saying to us, no. We're die-hearted Jamaicans. Listen to what he's saying.
It is not by accident that I'm stepping out in Montego Bay. And it's difficult for me to make this presentation, and I hope you will indulge me if I am somewhat nostalgic. I first came to St. James at the age of 7. My mother was teaching at Salters Hill School. She was insistent no way was her son going to the school at which she taught. Either they were going to spoil me or they were going to victimize me. So I was sent to my aunt, who was then the postmistress at Somerton. Even in my 89th year, my trip from Montego Bay to Somerton is indelibly etched in my mind. I boarded the bus, little lad, a total stranger, no relatives. I was put beside the driver. The driver was the son of the bus owner. And I don't know, even you people in Kingston might have known him when he ran one of the big stores on Spanish Town Road, Carlton, Beckford. That's how he got the name Mobe. Oh. He was the driver. And my mother said to him, take care of my son until you deliver him to his aunt. The bus trip from the time we entered, coming along Strand Street, past Parade, onto Barnett Street, that part of the journey took 2 hours because we had to stop at every store and pick up the people who had come from the country to make purchases there. There was a Texaco gas station at the end of Barnett Street, and they filled the tank with gas. And we drove past Fairfield, where Lord Beaverbrook was building his house, Cromarty, True Tucker, Irwin, Johns Hall. Johns Hall was the first stop. All the men went into the bar, came back out, played a game of dominoes, and they brought a bottle of cola champagne for the little boy and gave it to me. The journey from Johns Hall to Somerton, through Lottery, Amity Hall, Virgin's Valley, took 3 hours. What sticks in my mind is a gathering of people. They were singing Jamaican songs that I had never heard. Sammy Dead, Ron Mongoose, they were into Negro spirituals, they were into hymns. They were one happy, united people. And when you hear me even today talking about a sense of civility, a sense of respect, a sense of oneness, that's what I am talking about. I ended up handed over to my aunt. I knew nobody else in Summerton. The entire village of Summerton adopted me. And I became a child of Summerton. And what I'm talking about is the care, the love, the concern, the sharing, the encouragement, and even, if necessary, the reprimand. Those were the days when women made their living breaking rockstone and singing Godong Emmanuel Road. It is not a practice that could be continued. And it is one of the things that we brought to an end when we took government in 1972. But although it was kerosene lamp in the house and Peony Wally lighting the road, you could walk any time of day or night. And those were the days when you could sleep with your doors and windows open. No fear of gunmen nor gangsters. When I spend time with my grandchildren and I'm telling them about the days of telegram, when the telegrams reach very often about somebody who's dead in St. Thomas. By the time the telegram reached, the person is already buried. And in the most delicate and politeful ways, the children said to me, "Stop tell lie, Grandpa." But in those days, the post office was the center of the village. We knew everything that was going on. And even after time when I used to take the telegrams for my aunt, you would get the instructions when to cut bananas and bring them down, or how to get the cane orders that were taken to Barnet. I took great pleasure in walking the whole community with the people who are paid to deliver telegrams. That's how I got to know the people and they got to know me. Of course, those were the early days of universal adult suffrage.
Okay.
And some of you have heard me tell the story of the 1944 election and my campaign when Comrade Violet Stewart of blessed memory was my campaign manager. Unfortunately, the virus was injected in my system before I knew it. Don't fear, I can't take you through my life like this. But I simply want to say that arising from then, we developed a political system where two parties have been predominant. And of course, those who will not venture for service are prepared to spend all their time abusing and denigrating those who do.
True.
Yes, our political system has not produced all that we would have desired, but thank God we have a vibrant, plural democracy.
Yeah.
We have fundamental rights and freedoms which have been preserved and which the people, the electorate, will never allow to be eroded. We have reached that point where after 62 years of independence, the time has come when there needs to be certainly changes in our constitutional arrangements. I want to remind everybody who seems to have forgotten that we spent a lot of time during my administration trying to fashion changes, some obvious and immediate changes. That was done in a consultative spirit.
Yeah.
We reached a point where we were agreed on all the essential elements, certainly including leaving the monarchy and for those who choose not to remember, on the question of the final Court of Appeal, there was no question. The report itself said, when we leave the monarch's crown, we also leave the monarch's court.
All right. You hear what the former Prime Minister is saying? It was always said. So when the current Prime Minister, along with the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, is saying something totally different, and when you have some people coming on social media talking all sort of nonsense about Mark Golding this and Mark Golding that. Listen to what the former Prime Minister is saying. That Jamaica's final court of appeal should be the Caribbean Court of Justice. If we decide to leave the monarch, if we decide, hey, we're going to say bye-bye to King Charles, why on earth are we want to have the trippings of the people same way? Huh? Listen to what this man is saying. I am not a member for the political party, but where common sense is prevail, we have to speak. What the man is saying is absolute true. He's right. If we're going to leave the Privy Council, we must say bye-bye to everything in London. I want you to listen keenly to what the former Prime Minister has to say. Listen to this.
And without going into the long background, I just want you all to be mindful of the fact that Bustamante and Manley, who were both committed to the monarchy, accepted that our final court would not be the Privy Council. And that is why the provision about the Privy Council was put in by both of them as a simple amendment.
Okay. You hear what the former Prime Minister said? That Bustamante and Norman Manley wanted in a simple provision. That means when they're gonna formulate a new constitution, Jamaica's final court must be the CCJ. Oh, I'm talking some sense here this morning. I hope we're talking some sense here this morning. Knowledge is power. Preach, PJ Patterson, to those who don't have any cabeza. Listen to what the former Prime Minister is saying.
So that when, after the other islands had achieved their independence, and we had agreed on a judicial system to establish a federal court,
All right.
then 110 would have been taken out simply, and the new federal court, which is the CCJ, would have been inserted.
There you go. Do you understand what this man is saying to us? Do you really understand what the former Prime Minister is saying to us? This man is talking for us to understand. He is not using no highfalutin words that we don't understand. So I don't understand, how is it that Jamaica's Constitution Minister is not listening to what Bustamante and Norman Manley wanted for the Jamaican people? That if we decide to say bye-bye to King Charles, we must say bye-bye to King Charles with everything. We mustn't wait. We mustn't have no drippings behind. Listen to some more of what the PG of Mr. Patterson is saying.
Some people are trying to make political mischief by suggesting that the reason for the position taken by the opposition party has something to do with who was Mark's Golding father.
Did you hear that though? Everybody can see that people have this thing to say because Mark Golding is defending that the Jamaican people final court of appeal should be the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice. They're saying that Mark Golding father this and father that. Listen to some more of what this man is saying.
It is imbecilic.
Good word.
And I'm being charitable when I say that.
Yeah, what the man said, it is imbecilic. And he's been charity when he says that. In other words, he could use some different word to insult the people. You know those people there? But he's using this word. Listen to some more of what he's saying. Listen to some more, please, of what he's saying.
I would go further. I'd go further. That position has nothing to do with Mark Golding.
Correct.
There is no way the People's National Party, whoever is the leader, ever agreed to a situation where we leave the monarch's court and we don't have sufficient confidence in ourselves to administer justice which is accessible to the people we represent.
Okay, it has never been the position of the People's National Party. Has never been the position. Has nothing to do with Mark Jefferson Golding or where Mark father come from. It has been the position, whatever leader who leads the People's National Party, that Jamaica's final court must be the CCJ. Listen to some more what he's saying. He's gonna dig deep into something more. Listen to this.
Of course, there are some other issues which I am not going to delve into, but there is at least one abhorrent proposal in the present bill.
Yeah.
I don't speak for the party. Mark does. I speak for myself.
Yeah.
No. If they ever try to pass an amendment that says we have a ceremonial plus president that is appointed by 2/3 of both houses on the nomination of the Prime Minister after consultation with the leader of the opposition. And if he doesn't go through on the first round, then that person can be appointed by simple majority on the nomination of the Prime Minister.
Crazy.
I am going to be the first one out on the road.
All right, Jamaicans. All right, my fellow Jamaicans. You remember when I was saying this, no? Jamaica do not need a ceremonial head. We don't want nobody appointed by the Prime Minister. We have been saying this on this program. We need a president elected by the people, for the people, and by the people. We don't want no ceremonial head who's gonna be a puppet of the Prime Minister. Listen to Jamaica's former statesman educating us, educating the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs. Not push nothing on the people throat. And that we want. Want to take with her. The former Prime Minister said that if they don't do certain things in the amendment, he will be the first person on the streets of Jamaica. And I can tell you something. If PJ Patterson, if the former Prime Minister, Mr. Percival James Patterson, decide to take to the streets of Jamaica, you know what's happening in this country? Every Jamaicans will behind him. Every single Jamaican will behind him. Listen to some more of what Mr. Patterson is educating us about with the Constitution and other things. Listen to some more, please.
Because that cannot spin.
That cannot work. It never work. Listen to what he's saying.
You don't want a ceremonial head of state,
Correct.
which is a surrogate or a puppet
Of the Prime Minister.
of the Prime Minister.
All right. A puppet of the Prime Minister. This Governor General of Jamaica is a puppet of Prime Minister Andrew Michael Holness. It's full time the Jamaican people have a say. Have a say in who is Prime Minister or President. Full time. We don't want nobody who's a puppet of the Prime Minister. We don't want nobody who's a puppet of the Prime Minister. We want somebody who we the people have elected. This Governor General is a puppet of Prime Minister Andrew Holness. If the Prime Minister said jump, Patrick Allen, he said, how high, Andrew, should I jump? If the Prime Minister said to the GG, jump, he said, how high should I jump? Listen to some more of Prime Minister Patterson.
I want to touch on another area which has to do with our electoral process. And I have to put it in context.
I want you all to listen to this keenly, you know. Our electoral process. I've been saying on this program that the Electoral Office of Jamaica should not be in the office of the Prime Minister of this country. Listen to what the former Prime Minister of this country, the former statesman of Jamaica, listen to what he's saying. Hold on there for me. Listen to what former Prime Minister Patterson is saying.
When in 1979, Jamaica appeared to be on the brink of a civil war.
All right. Want to get in history? It is what he said, you know. When in 1979, Jamaica was on the brink of a civil war. Listen to what the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, have to say. I don't care who want to call me PNP this morning. I really don't care. Share up this live feed. Share up this live feed. Let us educate ourselves on the MeK Wi Talk program this morning, courtesy of BOJ TV. Let us educate ourselves this morning. Listen to some more of what the former Prime Minister is saying.
Fueled by the external intervention of the Central Intelligence Agency.
Yeah.
I repeat, what the conflict that was taking place at that time was fueled substantially because of the intervention of the CIA. And we now have conclusive evidence.
That's right.
And we know who were the players, including who was the trigger man.
All right. In 1979 to 1980, go on down with history. We know who was the trigger man driving the Jeep and signaling the plane. We know who was the trigger man driving the Jeep and signaling the plane. Listen to some more of this. Jesus have mercy upon we.
On the other side.
On the other side, listen to what PJ Patterson is saying. Jamaica was on the brink of a civil war in 1979 to 1980. And they know who was the trigger man on the other side. They know who was the trigger man driving the Jeep and signaling the plane.
But today is not the day for that, to go into that.
Nice.
But it is against that background that we set up what was then the Electoral Advisory Commission, which is now the Electoral Commission. There has been one cardinal rule, which is to accept the recommendations of the Electoral Advisory Commission.
Correct.
And that is why we have insisted that within that commission, there must be political representation.
Yeah.
So that the differences that arise on partisan sides are taken into account in the recommendation that is forthcoming.
That's right.
For the first time in our history, the government of today has introduced an amendment affecting the powers and the operations of the Electoral Commission, which do not reflect a consensus.
Correct.
You hear? Do not reflect a consensus. I'm going to look up the meaning what consensus mean.
First time.
And I regard it as lightning, which must serve as a warning.
All right. The former Prime Minister, in other words, the Electoral Office of Jamaica should have never gone under the office of the Prime Minister of this country. Hanky panky can't go on. And those hypocrites who had a press conference yesterday do not see it fit to say to their party, give us the account of why 3 trillion gone down the drain. Give us the account, or say to your party leader, Prime Minister, you can't have the electoral office in your office. They don't see it fit to say that to him. Educate ourselves this morning, Jamaicans. Listen to what the former Prime Minister of this country is saying. My God in heaven, I wish the Most Honorable James McLean Thompson and Elita Thompson from Westmoreland was alive. They'll be so proud this morning. May God rest their soul. Listen to some more of this, please.
I had a very simple rule of thumb when I was Prime Minister. Anytime you're going to put forward a law, think of how you would react to that law if you were in opposition rather than in government. And if you know it will be unacceptable to you in opposition, do not pursue it.
There you go. I bet you any money. Listen to me. Prime Minister Patterson is correct, you know. I bet you any money. It was the opposition leader now, Mark Golding, was Prime Minister. And he passed a bill in the Parliament of Jamaica to put the political ombudsman in the office of the EOJ and in the office of the Prime Minister. Andrew would take to the streets. Opposition leader Andrew Holness would take to the streets. But they do things to benefit themselves, not the Jamaican people. I said to you this time in the Jamaicans, we better be very careful. We must be vigilant. This election is one of the most consequential elections in the history of Jamaica. On the belief in 1980 was an election. This election that is going to call now will be one of the most consequential elections in the history of this country. And I say to you all, go out there and vote when the time comes. The soul of Jamaica's democracy relies on you, the Jamaican people. This election that is coming is going to be one of the most consequential elections in the history of this country. Listen to some more of what PJ Patterson is saying. We should never have the electoral office and the political ombudsman in the office of the Prime Minister. The political ombudsman should never be in the office of the electoral office. Listen to some more of what Mr. Patterson is saying.
And I've been misunderstood considerably, even by my own party, by the way in which I have approached certain things. But the principal aim and motivation was to do what we can to unite Jamaica.
Yes.
Which is what Norman Manley said when he founded this party. I am talking about the
to unite this country.
Amendment that puts into the hands of the EAC the powers of the political ombudsman. I view that unilateral imposition with great alarm. The EAC...
You hear what he said? He viewed that with great alarm. It should not have been. The political ombudsman is independent from the two political parties in this country. What the Prime Minister is doing is wrong. Let's listen to some more of Mr. Patterson's speech.
Is not equipped to discharge those functions. 10 people or 9 people can't be an ombudsman. And what is more, there is conflict inherent because within the EAC or the Electoral Commission, you have people who are there because of their partisan political position. And you want an ombudsman who is not involved, who is immune from any kind of partisan consideration.
All right, I just said it to you all, you know. The political ombudsman or woman or whoever they want to put there should be independent from the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party. That person should be neutral. So when you put that office in the EOJ and the EOJ in the office of the Prime Minister of this country, what does that signify to you? What does that signify to us as Jamaicans? All hell broke loose election night. When the election call, pandemonium. All hell broke loose from Negril Point to Moran Point. Jamaicans, be vigilant. Be very vigilant. Look out of your ears everywhere. This election will be the most consequential election in the history of this country. The soul of Jamaica's democracy relies on you, the Jamaican people. Listen to some more of Mr. Patterson.
I'm not going to talk about the question of the acts of corruption. I'm not going to delve into the cases and the allegations, some of which are manifest, which are in the public domain, and some of them, of course, even before our courts. I'd simply say this. When I became Prime Minister, although the law did not require it then, I made my integrity returns public. I remember...
Hold on there. Hold on there, Jamaicans. Hold on a minute there. You know, haul and pull up. Put a brake on it. Put a brake on it. You heard the former Prime Minister just said? When he became Prime Minister, he made his statutory declaration public. So why is it that Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who's paid by the taxpayers of this country, why is it that you're afraid to do so, sir? Former Prime Minister PJ Patterson said he'd have done it. And he went on to say, he went on to say that the late Michael Norman Manley and the late Michael Joshua Manley made his own public too. And I'm pretty much sure Mr. Siaga made his own public too. So why is it that this Prime Minister, who believe that he's not answerable to the people of this country, why is it that he never make his own public? I want you to listen to some more of what Mr. Patterson said. The man went on to say, listen to this. Let us listen to it, please.
Getting a letter from Michael Manley, who had then retired, who said, master stroke. My returns when I retired were also available for public scrutiny. So everybody can know what I went in with and what I came out with.
Can the Prime Minister of Jamaica, can Prime Minister Andrew Michael Bogard Holness honestly tell the Jamaican people, honestly, can you tell the Jamaican people, Prime Minister Holness, that we, the Jamaican people, will see a statutory declaration, what you went in with, and it's the same thing you have now? If you're going with 0, do you still have 0? If you're going with 2 house, do you still have 2 house? Prime Minister, if you should leave, retire tomorrow morning, can the Jamaican people truly see your statutory declaration? If the former Prime Minister and the late Michael Manley can do that, and I'm pretty much sure the late Edward George Philip Siaga has done that too, but why are you afraid, Prime Minister Holness, to let the Jamaican people know? Why are you afraid? Morning, my good friend Solomon. Why are you afraid? 28 bank accounts in which modern democracy you have a Prime Minister of 28 bank account. Statutory declaration can be certified and still remain as Prime Minister of this country. In which modern democracy can you have $3 trillion of taxpayers' money unaccountable for? And no head now roll down Timber Hill? No accountability? In which modern democracy can you have 1,130 something Jamaicans murdered under the watch of Horace Chang, the Minister of National Insecurity, and nothing is being done? Which other modern democracy a Prime Minister statutory declaration cannot be certified and he still sits as Prime Minister? What can go so in this country? And you have some nincompoops coming on social media chatting a whole bag of bullcrap. The Prime Minister of this country, the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, PJ Patterson, said in his presentation that yes, you can pledge allegiance to a political party. You can affiliate it rather to a political party, but your allegiance must be to the country of Jamaica, not an allegiance to the People's National Party or the Jamaica Labour Party. The former Prime Minister said it, not me. You can't go back and watch it. Listen to some more of what the former Prime Minister is saying.
No spelling or no guessing from whence it came. All I would say here, he that hath ears to hear, let them hear. I must.
You hear what he said? He's sending a clear message to Jamaica's Prime Minister as a former Prime Minister. PJ Patterson is telling Andrew Holness, if you have ears to hear, then hear it. When PJ Patterson was Prime Minister, he made his statutory declaration public. Former Prime Minister, the late Michael Norman Joshua Manley, wrote him, PJ Patterson, a letter and said, I make my own public too, although I retire. So what is the problem with this Prime Minister? Him a dan dada? Huh? Is it that he's this person here? Hold on, if I can play something here. I him this.
All of a sudden, everybody turned on. The better learn that in any organization is only one Dan boy rule.
He made it done. All of a sudden, him turned down. Listen to some of what Mr. Patterson is saying.
However, say that the present attacks being launched against a commission that was set up.
All right, listen to this. On hear the Jamaica Labour Party members and the Prime Minister of this country attacking the Integrity Commission. Listen to what the former Prime Minister of this country have to say.
To promote integrity, those attacks are deplorable and dangerous.
You hear? Those attacks are deplorable and dangerous. The Prime Minister is setting a dangerous precedent by attacking the Integrity Commission of the country. How you think other countries looking at Jamaica? When a Prime Minister the commission can't be certified, then he turn around and take them to court and disrespecting them. Listen to this.
And I have to say, it is outrageous when the Minister of Justice can publicly be advising
colleagues
that their spouses' declarations need not be returned.
The Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck, says to his parliamentarians, his colleague, and him for him side of the fence, "Una make una wife and sweetheart verify nothing to the Integrity Commission. Not go so. Una have to do it." The Minister of Justice is promoting corruption and cronyism. Jamaica's Minister of Justice, Injustice, Delroy Chuck, is promoting corruption in this country. And he should step down as Minister of Injustice. If he has the decency, if Delroy Chuck have the decency and the morals, he step aside as Minister of Justice in this country. You have no moral authority to remain as Minister of Justice in this country. Listen to some of Mr. Patterson is saying.
It would make a mockery of the law. Because instead of bribes or undue enrichment going into the representative's account, you would simply divert it to spouses, to children, to siblings, or to parents.
Or to the helper and the gardener.
The Integrity Commission must be able to follow the trail wherever it may lead.
That's it.
There you go. That was exactly what Mr. Rattigan have been saying. That the Integrity Commission must can follow the money. But when you have Minister of Injustice Delroy Chuck and others, and one named Warmington, who's a disgrace to the people of this country and a disgrace to the parliament of this country, Mrs. Warmington, Mrs. Everall Warmington, a disgrace to the Parliament of Jamaica, a disgrace to the people of this country, a disgrace to the people who he served in St. Catherine. When you have those people coming down on the Integrity Commission because they're investigating the Prime Minister, that is to show you that maybe they are involved in the level of corruption in this country too. Maybe they are involved in corruption too. Have you heard Delroy Chuck come out and speak about the 3 trillion account before? Have you heard Mrs. Warmington, because him trace like a new man, come out and speak out against the $3 trillion in account before? No. Have you heard the youth arm of the Jamaica Labour Party speaks about the 3 trillion that is in account before? They can't do it because they're afraid. That's why you see me, I don't want nobody give me no position in a nowhere. Because I must be able to speak my mind. I don't want no order of jackass, no order of old donkey, no command of cow. I don't want none of that. Because some of them who have the order of old donkey, not all of them, and the commander class of cow, do not fit for it. Because over the years, the government of Jamaica continue giving their friends and cronies who are involved in corruptions, who are involved in child, Jeffrey behave yourself this morning, who are involved in child trafficking. I don't want it. Listen to some more of what Mr. Patterson is saying.
Members must have the protection of secure tenure, the authority and the resources to pursue any semblance of corruption.
You hear? The Integrity Commission, the former Prime Minister is saying, must have the resources to investigate any level of corruption. Anybody under this in the public pity must be investigated and carried to the courts of this country. This is some more of this.
Regardless of where their findings may lead. I think as we're coming towards the end of February, and 2 appointments will arise for consideration, we need to be reminded that those appointments are made by the Governor General after consultation with the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition.
It's his decision.
It is that ability or capacity to be impartial which has caused several of us to move from being resolute for an executive president to being prepared to accept for a time a ceremonial plus, so that we are watching and we are waiting and we are listening, and we hope that there is not going to be any hijacking of those who are discharging their duties, regardless of where their findings have led. Now, I come to a move from national, and I'm talking to St. James. time is not going to allow me to do everything. But I want to start by reflecting on a field which is the lifeblood of Montego Bay and St. James. And I want to share with you my observations on tourism. St. James is no longer the parish of slave plantations against which the Right Excellent Sam Sharp led the rebellion. But even when slavery was abolished, the plantation system was still thriving for a long while in St. James. When I came to St. James as a child, the entire city, from Barnet right around, coming out to Greenwood, the ownership of the lands was in the hands of the plantocracy. Today, Montego Bay no longer remains that town surrounded by hectares of land where the people own nothing. We smashed that wall when we acquired the Lilliput Rose Hall lands. And you remember how I was assailed and condemned. Go look at the corridor as you enter Montego Bay and think if any of that would have been possible but for the work done by Michael Manley and PJ Patterson in settling that.
You hear that? The Lilliput corridor was done by Michael Manley and PJ Patterson. My God. But every day he but built by labor. Listen to some more of this.
Montego Bay is not only a city which was legislated for by the PNP, but it is also the tourism capital of Jamaica. Indeed, the tourism capital of the English-speaking Caribbean. The Donald Sangster Airport, again which I privatized despite hostile political fire, is now rated as numero uno in the Caribbean. No.
Donald Sangster Airport is rated number one because of the work of PJ Patterson and Michael Manley.
Nobody can tell me how crucial tourism is to the lifeblood of Western Jamaica. I am speaking about it because it has a centrifugal force for the entire country. For in the 70s, I stood on the burning deck when all the existing moguls of the industry had fled. That is when, as Minister of Tourism, I held the hand of Glenn Bloomfield at every stage in the launch of Juta, so that taxi drivers would have a space of their own.
All right, you hear that though? The People's National Party launched Juta. Look what Juta has become. The poor taxi men and women who in a Juta can't get no tourists. Because this administration allow the hotels to have their own taxi service. So the poor Juta men and women don't have any say in it.
That is why we set out in 1989 to expand and improve the infrastructure across the entire island with a concentration on the west, beginning with phase 1 of the North Coast Highway from Negril to Montego Bay.
You hear that? Phase 1 of the North Zone Highway from Negril to Montego Bay. PJ Patterson initiative.
And soon thereafter from Montego Bay to Ocho Rios.
PJ Patterson initiative. Montego Bay to Ocho Rios.
That is why we put in place the Great River and Queen of Spain Valley water supplies.
All right. But yet still Jamaicans don't have no water in the pipe.
Amongst others. That's why we modernized the airport and the Montego Bay seaport. It is that kind of infrastructure investment which triggered the boom in rooms with the arrival of Spanish investors to more than double the space provided by the Sandals and Super Club chains. But we also left space for local entrepreneurs. And I was so happy when I could meet Mr. Dennis Morgan at the front of what was the Chatham Hotel, because, Governor, you and I know that that was a place where you had to wear tuxedo to dinner. We opened new attractions to improve our product mix. I note with personal satisfaction the efforts of Minister Bartlett to explore new markets and increase our visitor range. And I give him due credit. But I say, if you are claiming to surround tourism with a green jacket, it's not going to work.
Ay, ay, ay. One moment, please. It's not going to work with any green jacket.
My experience and my knowledge of the industry suggest some warning lights. And I want to share a few thoughts with you, some of which have been mentioned by Senator Allen previously. Our visitors want the Jamaican experience. They want to enjoy the #1 brand, which is Jamaica. Tourism must never again become an enclave industry. It is part of...
You hear? Tourism must never become an enclave industry. When you have people coming in this country, enslaving the Jamaican people by only paying them $7 an hour, it must not be.
About national space and our natural endowment. Our people must have a sense of ownership, one to which they belong. The workers are the essential asset. That's what our returning residents all say. With or without union representation, each worker must be entitled to full reward in return for due performance.
Hear, hear. Hear, hear. Hear, hear. We can't have our tourism workers working little and nothing while these booking masters collect millions of dollars off of the back of the hotel workers in this country. And that is why I keep on saying that we need to find out if these hotels are paying their fair share of taxes in this country. If these hotels are paying over the NIS and the housing trust for these hotel workers. Where to go, Mr. Patterson?
Particularly with the absence of union representation and some joint industrial council, we will have to consider whether there should be a labor code for the industry which sets the regulatory framework in which the industry operates. We must ensure there are Jamaicans in senior positions, and those at the middle must get equal compensation and all the extras that the expatriate state staff are.
There you go. It cannot be that expatriate can come into this country, hold managerial positions in hotels, when Jamaicans are qualified to hold managerial positions and they are not getting the managerial position in this country. I 150% endorse you, Mr. Patterson, in what you're saying. The hotel workers in this country must have a fair say. In the Cayman Islands, Caymanians have to have a fair say. No expatriate. This is what Mr. Patterson is saying.
There must be stronger and lasting linkages with the vital sectors led by agriculture.
Yeah.
And I was just saying to the party leader before I came in, there's a very interesting article in yesterday's newspaper setting out all the incentives that tourism get. If we want agriculture
To step up.
to be a center for development, which is essential for food security, which is essential for rural development, then we must be prepared to give agriculture the same set of incentives as we do for tourism. And nobody must quote me because I am not saying that we must impose any tax. I am saying, however, that we may have to look somewhere at a dedicated fund.
Right.
That's what we did for the Tourism Enhancement Fund.
Yes.
If you all remember in the 1990s, they had the Tourism Enhancement Fund. Now the Tourism Enhancement Fund is in the consolidated fund, doing all kind of things. My God.
Right? And they have now taken that tourism enhancement fund into the consolidated fund.
Yeah.
And they use it for almost everything except enhancing the tourism areas and the people that benefit from tourism.
That is why I have been saying it on this program. Welcome to my one of my producers of this program, Walking in Divine Purpose. that I've been saying on this program, that when they forget about the small hoteliers who help to build tourism in this country, it don't look good. The Tourism Enhancement Fund was put there to assist small hoteliers, the mom and pop breakfast, the local condominiums.
The tourism industry has to have linkages, horticulture, artistic works, paintings, sculptures, pottery, with industry. We can't be importing entertainers when Jamaica has the best entertainers in the world.
I have never seen or hear such nonsense in my life. Not Mr. Patterson. I'm not talking any nonsense. When you see hoteliers importing musicians from Mexico, from Guatemala, from the Dominican Republic and all over the place to come to Jamaica to play music. And this tourism minister sit down and accept it. They don't do nothing about it. Nothing has been done. This is the country that put Edmund Bartlett where he is as minister. And now they're fighting for the poor class of Jamaicans. No. It should not be that no hotel was given the right to import musicians for their guests.
We have to link sports with tourism. That is why the Trelawney
Multi-purpose.
Oval was placed where it was. And we have to reserve an element for community involvement, for private individual engagement, for bread and breakfast, for the Jamaican cuisine.
You heard I said a while ago, the bread and breakfast, the mom and pop hotels, the mom and pop restaurants, the Jamaican cuisine. If you don't have a Jamaican chef in the hotel industry, all inclusive, appear fat and yam there. You must have little oxtail, little curry chicken. And if anything, little tin mackerel too. We little dumpling and so Jeffrey Baber served this morning. You must have little mom and pop people them in there. So what Mr. Patterson is saying is absolute true. He's right. He's correct. But yet, this administration don't see it fit. Someone Mr. Patterson is saying.
We have to define areas that are restricted to local Jamaican enterprise. For example, ground transportation. That's the only way we can secure the maximum take from every dollar spent, because tourism must matter to all Jamaicans.
Here you go. Tourism mustn't matter to only the people of the Vum-Va-Van and the Vum-Va-Vie. Because people of the Vum-Va-Van and the Vum-Va-Vie now do not dirty work. It's the people who live below Crossroad. The people who live in the country areas of this country. They are the one who make tourism possible in this country. The people from Negril, the Arthur's Bathing Beach, the Reynolds Bathing Beach, 1 mile. They make things possible. The Hidden Paradise. guest house, hotel on the 7 Mile Strip. Those are the people who make tourism possible in Negril and in Jamaica. But they force the people of Negril to sell their lands because we couldn't afford the high taxes. The people who start tourism in Negril, God bless what they have now. Because all-inclusive take over. At one point I was talking to a former president of the Negril Chamber of Commerce. And his remarks to me was, why those people in Negril don't have any hotel now is because they never save their money. When you go borrow money from bank to refurbish your hotel on the west end of Negril, and the tourists now come on the west end of Negril, what happened to you? Either you give back the hotel or whatever land you put out collaterals, you give them back it. So you leave with nothing. Your buildings start deteriorate. Look on Tigress Negril. Tigress Resort owned by the late Papa Lawrence. The late Papa Lawrence had Tigress Negril and the western strip of Negril. Look at it now. Because the all-inclusive takeover. Look at Lamar Resort and the western strip of Negril. The all-inclusive takeover. Look on the 7 Mile beach of Negril. It's some of the tourists who know about Eden Paradise. Oh, I'm pronouncing my cousin name, my cousin place properly. They used to keep on coming back, but all-inclusive takeover. And the people in Hanover who go to do the little dirty work at the all-inclusive hotels, they are not being recognized because slave master take over. They give them only $7 an hour. So what PJ Patterson is talking this morning, he said it yesterday, but this morning put it over. And we must say thanks to BOJ TV for bringing this to us. What PJ Patterson is saying is absolutely right. Hotel workers must be the ones who hold managerial positions, not expatriate. No Spanish man, no Spanish woman. We are capable. No hotel must be allowed to import musicians into this country. Same way no government should allow their friends and cronies to import ice. When a thing as ice where water make. The government of the day allow one of their friends to import ice in this country. Arbin Hill should be ashamed of yourself. You're telling me that we couldn't get a freezer, one of those freezer containers. Employ some people to stock the freezer containers with water to make ice and then sell it back? Or to import ice? Listen to some of what Mr. Patterson is saying.
As we gather, the world is a different world. from the one which existed in 1938 when our party was founded. But I can't avoid at an outreach meeting reminding you that at its foundation, Norman Manley was adamant that our party's name should include peoples because it was intended to serve the masses of the country. He also said that labor was a significant component, but the party should be called national because it had to be about the development of Jamaica as a whole rather than any single component. The world is also vastly different from that which existed in 1972. And I see some people trying in celebrating Michael Manley's
100th century
revolutionary provisions in the 1972 period, attempting to suggest that those were not followed after 1989. The world was different.
Very much so.
We are now faced with the devastating effects of global warming and climate change, a reality. Talking about hurricanes, the 1951 hurricane, Governor, I was up at Springfield, and the morning when I woke up, you could see through all the banana fields right down into the harbor of Montego Bay. Those hurricanes now are more frequent, they are more devastating, and we have a situation where one time, one place is flooding while another place is drought. Global warming and climate change are realities with which we have to deal. Time is not going to allow me to delve into the international order, our fight then for the new international economic order, which we continued during the 1990s, and which was reflected, as I shall mention, in practical collaboration like Petro-Carib with South-South cooperation, and we got more money out of Petro-Carib, which was launched right here in Montego Bay, than what we got from the IMF and World Bank combined.
In case you all know, you may be wondering what is Petro-Carib. Jamaica in the 1990s had a joint venture with the Venezuelans. At that time, the late Euphemia was president of Venezuela. And I think in the 1990s, the government of the day, led by PJ Patterson, had a Petro-Carib deal where Jamaica get oil from Venezuela for a reduced price. As a matter of fact, the Caribbean. And you hear him speak about the Petro-Carib deal? Listen to some of what he said, because he said that Jamaica get more money from the Petro-Carib deal than from the International Monetary Fund. Listen to this.
And on better terms.
We have to deal with the spread of military conflicts and global pandemics, all of which trigger crises of migration and poverty. And then since January 20th, we have to deal with the challenges and uncertainties which flow from a country that is seeking to maintain a single hegemony and with a president who believes that America owns the world. What he does in the United States is one thing. What happens in the rest of the world and how it affects us is another thing, and makes it imperative that we in the Caribbean, with the rest of the developing world, in Africa, must come together as one. In Jamaica, we are confronted with crimes at levels and of ferocity which are unprecedented. We are encouraged somewhat that there's a drop this year when compared with last year.
Yeah.
But they are intolerably and unacceptably too high.
Yeah.
Nobody in Jamaica can feel safe in the present situation.
You hear what the former Prime Minister said? That nobody can feel safe in Jamaica at this present moment. And yet, they have the audacity. Yesterday, they have a so-called press conference. The Jamaica Labour Party have the audacity and the temerity to be calling on Dayton Campbell to resign. Why don't call on Dr. Harris Chang, who is the Minister of National Security, to step down? Huh? Dr. Harris Chang presided over 1,132 Jamaicans murdered under his watch in 2024. And you hear nobody come out and say Dr. Chang must resign. Huh? $1,132 Jamaicans was murdered under Dr. Harris Chang watch. You hear nobody from the JLP come and say, Chang, a time for you to step down. That's why nobody can give me no position, you know. Because me must call a spade, me not call a spade. That couldn't fit me one thing. Ask anybody about me. You and I, if you and I are friend, Wilfred Rattigan and I is friend. And if Wilfred Rattigan can't say Jeffrey Tavares you're wrong, then I'm my friend. If me can't tell Will that Will you're wrong, then me and Will no friend. I'm not Will friend. Will must be able to come and say, look here Jeffrey, you're wrong. So why is it that I must be a part of a youth arm of a political party and I can't speak out against the party? To hell would you know?
As to the roads, not even before the days of asphalt, when it was Rockstone Road, have I seen the roads in Jamaica in such a state of dilapidation and disrepair.
Unbelievable.
Despite the National Health Service, which was created during my regime, and without which we could not have survived the last pandemic. Despite that, our health system is tottering on the brink of abject failure.
All right. All right. Our health sector is struggling on the brink of absolutely failure. And I need to talk to the Walking in Divine Purpose. I need to send her a video, you know. That is out, that I need to get her to do something for me. Absolutely failure. And when you have the former Prime Minister making it clear, look on the roads in this country. Yesterday, I don't have it on this system here. Yesterday, you see Jamaicans in Portland hanging on and rope to cross the river. Where is Darrell Vaz and his wife? Where is the Prime Minister? In any other modern democracy, you'd have called out the Jamaica Defense Force to assist the people. But no, you have the JDF in Haiti that try stop Haiti gang war. You have the JDF all over Jamaica that talk about Zozo and Nene. A bridge collapse in Portland and nobody's there. Jamaica has one of the best Army Corps of engineers in the JDF. But this Prime Minister refused to use them. He's the Minister of Defense, so he can do whatever he wants to do. Absolutely failure. The health sector and the roads in this country. But because them drive SUV, you see what happened today? Commissioner of Police, thank God nothing happened to nobody in there. Him that drive a brand new 2025 Prado, you know. And half of the wheel gone. While members of the JCF now have no car for drive. But the commissioner that drive a 2025 Prado, nobody can tell me the price. From Toyota Jamaica, how much want 2025 Prado? That's what the commissioner that drive. The wheel tear off and he get a brand new one again to drive. Because they use taxpayers' money as if I for them money. Then dip in a hit. Like how they dip in a J-dip. But I want you to know say post that one while in a administration. They use taxpayers' money willy-nilly. While the JCF members have no car to go up and down in this country. Listen to some of what Mr. Patterson is saying. The roads in this country is a disgrace.
My charitable side is not going to cause me to talk about the Cornwall Hospital, starting with 1.2 billion, and it is now 21.5 billion and mounting, and the hospital is still incomplete.
Yeah.
What can go, sir? What can really go, sir? In any other modern democracy, the Minister of Health will have to come and tell the people how on earth it gone to 20-something billion dollars. Huh? But nobody cares. My good friend Steve would have said to Mr. Jeffrey, nobody cares. $3 trillion gone down the drain. 20-something billion dollars. Cornwall Hospital can't finish all now. All now. Wayne, go sit down and behave yourself. Oh no! What a crisis we're living in. What a war situation. What a war situation. Weeping and wailing. Lightning and thunder. What a war. I say what a war situation. What a war. $3 trillion gone down the drain. What a war. I say what a war situation. What a war. 20-something billion dollar for Bill Cornwall Hospital. And I know we can't done what a war. What a war situation. What a war. My God in heaven. This is some more Mr. Patterson is saying. No, sir.
Nowhere else in the world but Jamaica could you have a project like that and not even one head rule.
All right. All right. Not even one head roll for the money where they go down the drain at Cornwall Regional Hospital. They have members of the Jamaica Labour Party who are project managers. They never go to school for that. Their friends are cronies milking the coffers of this country. In which other modern democracy a project cannot be finished and more money is going to the project and no head nor roll? Only in the land of wood and no water. Listen to some more of Mr. Patterson is saying.
Crazy. Not one.
And despite all the boast about prosperity, and despite the economic indices, there are too many families which simply cannot make ends meet.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a recent report that shows hunger and malnutrition in Jamaica are at an alarming levels.
Yeah.
You hear that? Hunger. Lord Jesus, where the Father, I stretch my hand to thee. No other help I have but you, O God. If you should withdraw thyself from me, mighty God, where would I go? Andrew Michael Bogard Wholeness. I warn you on this program time and time again. Stop let poor people I water in Jamaica catch you. The Bible said the sins of the mothers and fathers shall follow to the third and fourth generation. Andrew Michael Wholeness. Poverty, nutrition is an alarming rate in this country. It going up, people that dead for hungry. They can't afford chicken back. They can't afford the favorite meal that I love, tin mackerel. .7% of Jamaicans living above or below the poverty line in this country. Are you talking about prosperity? What a war situation. What a war. My God, I can't sing this morning. What a war situation. Weeping and wailing. I'm not talking about prosperity. Look at what is going on in this country. It is good to listen, you know. That is why nobody can come to me with no hearsay. If me not see evidence, Jeffrey not talking about it. What a war situation. Weeping and wailing. I want the Prime Minister of this country, you know. Prime Minister Michael Andrew Holness. Prime Minister Michael Andrew Holness. Apparently you're living in a delusional world. Jamaicans are suffering. And don't talk about no Jeffrey Tavares or PNP making a chat so nothing go so. Because PNP coming up power tomorrow morning and then they go out with them damn nonsense, I shall come out against them too. Jamaicans are living in absolute poverty. They can't afford certain things in this country. How long shall we allow the wicked to reign over our people? How long? When will we arise and stand up for this piece of rock? PJ Patterson told the nation yesterday and this morning, it's all good to align yourself with a political party, but your allegiance must be to your country, Jamaica. The former Prime Minister said it. You can't go back and watch it. He said that your allegiance must be to the nation of Jamaica. In which other modern democracy can you have a Prime Minister 28 bank account? Nothing is being done. In which other modern democracy $3 trillion is unaccounted for and nothing is being done? Only in the land of wood and no water. Listen to some more from Mr. Patterson saying.
No wonder the birth rate is also falling.
Yes. The women then not get pregnant anymore. Because we can't afford diapers. Miss Taylor can't get pregnant because we can't afford diapers. Walking in divine destiny can't get pregnant because we can't afford diapers. What can go so but you know what people for a picnic and then dead for hungry? Huh? Walking in divine purpose, but Lord have mercy, what's wrong with me? Huh? How can we build up Jamaica's birth rate when majority of our people can't afford chicken back? They can't afford get to oxtail now. I don't think Jeffrey know what get to oxtail is. I know what get to oxtail is. They can't afford get to oxtail anymore. You may have a husband looking at you and you know say you have a husband. Make a behave myself in the man in here. Huh? What is going on? Rise up. We can't afford tin mackerel. We can't afford a loaf of bread. We can't afford ghetto oxtail. Murder. You're not talking about Jamaica is booming. Jamaica is this and poverty and prosperity. I can't behave myself. Listen to some of what Mr. Patterson is saying.
Okay. can't make love on a hungry belly.
But worst of all, and this I say because the polls say it, there's a breakdown of trust and confidence in the country.
Yes, the Jamaican people don't trust this Prime Minister. The Jamaican people do not trust the administration of Michael Andrew Brogan Holness. The Jamaican people don't trust the data of the Jamaica Constable Force. The Jamaican people never trust Nigel Clark and Iran Gan. They put in anti-faval and they don't trust her either. The Jamaican people don't trust the so-called Governor General. All him just go around and name and cut ribbon. We don't trust none of them. Mr. Patterson, you're correct. The data is correct. The Jamaican people do not trust the administration of Prime Minister Michael Andrew Holness. $3 trillion unaccountable for Karanapong. $28 bank account Karanapong. By the way, I get to understand that the Prime Minister's wife, who is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Papi, Mama Mimo, Momimo, Momo, Jeffrey, don't you trouble Zion. I get to understand that the Prime Minister's wife, who is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, will be in New York. She coming in from Japan. And she coming to New York to visit family members who want Bex this morning. Bex, so me get here, so me deliver it. Can I see it here? An evening with the Most Honorable Juliet Holness. You are cordially invited to an intimate dinner with the Most Honorable Juliet Holness, First Lady of Jamaica, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Member of Parliament for St. Andrew East Rural, December, February 8, 2025, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Guess what happened now, no? The food is $250 plate. You also can contribute. Contribution are welcome to Save Our Boys and Girls Foundation. Then Giselle number 2. Contribution can make to Our Boys and Girls Foundation. Now tell me something now. Wife a foundation, husband a foundation. Almighty God look down for heaven power. Judgment not reach the land. And you can't contribute and contribute and contribute. Is there any accountability for this Girls and Boys Foundation owned and operated? Well, yes, the foundation is established by Mrs. Holness. Now me must take for me hard working $250. Me work in a snow. Me work in a sun. Some of the people clean, you know what? To make a living up here. And me must take my $250 US. Figure sit down and chat to Mrs. Holness about what? Should I come and talk to her about the lawsuit or the woman she can't go to court. What she not build one road through the woman veranda? Who is 70-something-year-old? Should I come and speak to you about that? Should I come and speak to you and ask you who is paying for your trip to New York? For you to go sit down and have dinner? Who is paying for your trip, Madam Speaker? Who is paying for your trip to New York, Madam Speaker? To come and sit down and yam, have dinner with some hypocrite of the Jamaican diaspora. So-called hypocrites who should love the people of this country, but afraid to ask no questions. Who is paying for your trip? You're coming from Japan for official business, but you're not divert, come on New York. Who is paying for your trip? I get to understand, say, you're meeting some people now. And tomorrow is the big Nyamins. Who is paying for your trip, Madam Speaker? Is the taxpayers of Jamaica paying for your trip to come to New York? The Jamaican people want to know. But we must contribute to the Boys and Girls Foundation. Contribute to her. Why never come up here and say you don't have dinner? Why never come up here and say you don't have a town hall meeting? And you shall pay for all the dinners which I wouldn't go either. Because nothing free never good. I don't like freeness. So why you never said that, Mrs. Holness? And those people who are putting on this dinner, who are vexed this morning, vexed, who don't want to talk to me after this, who don't want to put on my 10 pound of chicken back on fire, who don't want to help me pay my bills, and no weapon that form against me shall prosper, who is a bunch of hypocrites, members of the Jamaican diaspora, who no friends and family that they go through the hills and pans in Jamaica, but you don't want to take picture. I say you take picture with First Lady, and Tira Lady, and Nira Lady, while the country is suffering. Who is a bunch of set of hypocrite. Members, some of the members of the Jamaican diaspora, hold on there, Papa PJ, you hold on a minute for me. Some of the members of the Jamaican diasporas are a bunch of set of hypocrites. Wife a foundation, husband a foundation. 3 trillion gone down the drain and ask no question. You can't ask questions, I'm afraid. Anybody can go and check the voting record of me in Jamaica. Go check it. Go check it. There's a bunch of hypocrites. And who is putting on this dinner? There's a bunch of hypocrites. Who putting on this dinner in New York? There's a bunch of hypocrites. Come an evening with Mrs. Holness. You are cordially invited to an intimate dinner. I saw me hungry. You're cordially invited to an intimate dinner with the Most Honorable Juliet Holness, First Lady of Jamaica, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Member of Parliament for East Rural St. Andrew, February 8th, Saturday, February 8th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Location, you may not call the location. Because they go say, I'm going to call location, she go home to her. I not call no location. This special evening, give you the opportunity to sit down and chat with her. You also can donate, and contributions are welcome to our Boys and Girls Foundation. When you know what, Jeffrey? La mambi, mama mi mo mi mo. Nandi da da di do di do. I tell you something, you know. Aye, Jesus, Father God, have mercy upon my sinful soul, O Lord. Father, I stretch my hand to thee, O God. If thou should withdraw thyself from me, Father God, where would I go? Me must go sit down. Me work so hard. Me tell you now, members of the Jamaican diaspora, when you not done, if you don't want to say hello to Jeffrey, I really don't care. You is a bunch of hypocrite. You is a bunch of hypocrites. Look what's going on in the country. Huh? When you don't want to make money. When you know, hello, a full time sitting down, you know. Every time they want to look for fundraising, they come a diaspora. And them were up here. Them were up here. Their heart and soul is not with Jamaica. Their heart and soul is with the people of the Vumvavon and the Vumvavi. But only they had dinner. You're correct in a way. How much people can afford? $250. $250 a plate. Who is paying for the Speaker of the House of Representatives to come to New York on her way from Japan on official business? Who is paying for it? Is the taxpayers of Jamaica paying for her to come up here and have dinner? Intimate dinner? With some hypocrites? Huh? Who is paying for her dinner? Who is paying for her travels? While the country $2-3 trillion in accountable for. She couldn't come up here and say no, that's true. The diaspora has been very good to the people, you know. I could have a town hall meeting, but they can ask me some questions and I answer them. I'm not afraid for a town hall meeting. I'm not afraid for a town hall meeting. Because no one will ask you no question. I can't behave myself this man because what I want to say, see? Let's go back to what Mr. Patterson was saying.
We have to change course. We are moving in the wrong direction. The moral order is under siege.
You hear that? Mr. Patterson, not only the moral order is under siege, the country is under siege.
And the social order in decay. We have to come to the rescue of Jamaica, land we love. Time to restore the precepts of transparency and accountability.
All right. When I keep on telling you people on this platform here that the soul of Jamaica's democracy relies on we, the Jamaican people. The moral fiber of this country leave up to we, the Jamaican people. The fiber of this piece of rock in the Caribbean Sea leave up to we, the Jamaican people, who truly love this piece of rock. Now some of we who come a foreign and dash our passport way, or dash dirty water behind we, and profess we love our country. Not those people who truly love this piece of rock. Because whenever this election is called, this is going to be one of the most consequential elections in the history of this country. And we, the Jamaican people, must stand up for accountability. And I'm putting the People's National Party on a clear warning this morning that if you should gain state power when the election is called, it's no honeymoon for no. And if you don't go in there, go do the same hanky-panky, I will be on here talking about it. Putting the People's National Party on a clear warning this morning. I'm putting the leader of the People's National Party on a warning this morning. Make sure that you go in there, Mr. Golden, for the people, of the people, and by the people of this country. Make sure when you go in there, sir, you order a forensic audit in every single government ministries in this country. Come and tell the people how much money is in the kitty. Come and tell the people how much money gone. Who if we go prison, go prison. Make sure you tell the people that, sir. Make sure you do what the people want. Make sure you consult the people of this country. No more will we sit idly by. No more. 3 trillion gone down the drain. 20-something billion dollars. And Corners Hospital can't done bill. What can go so? I put in the People's National Party in a warning. A clear warning this morning. Putting you people that if you don't do what the people of this country want, an investigation must be launched. An investigation must be launched. Taxpayers' money can't go so. And that is why we want to know who is paying for the trip of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. She's an official business from Japan. And she coming here to have some dinner. And nobody who would cater for the dinner can ask who paid for her trip to come to New York. The taxpayers of this country want to know who is paying for her trip to come to New York. Is it the taxpayers of Jamaica? Is it the poor pauperizing taxpayers of this country paying for your trip to come to New York? Make a send a clear message to the People's National Party. If and when you people gain state power, I'm not coming on official business. I want to decide for go divert, go came and go for the family down there. We want to know who pay for go down there. We can't make taxpayers' money they go willy-nilly no more. While some of our people have water in their pipe. Let's listen to some more of what Mr. Patterson is saying.
It is said that all politics is local. It is St. James where I started, and it is to St. James I return in closing this presentation. And again I go back to something which Norman Manley said in 1938 to preface my conclusion remarks. He said, we need to develop our own capacities, our own gifts for leadership, until out of our own people we can find our own solutions. And that is why the PNP is always the party that consults with the people. It doesn't attempt to rule the people.
Yes, we don't want no dictatorship. Consult with the people, Marlin Malahufort. You lie to the nation that you have consulted with the people. When it comes down to constitutional affairs, you did not do so. You have some 3 or 4 willy-nilly fly-by-night town hall meetings. How many Jamaicans you consult with? Don't rule the people, we put you there. The word minister mean in Latin servant of the people. You don't you don't serve we don't serve you. You serve us. We pay you. We must be transparent in all what we do. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the MeK Wi Talk YouTube channel. I want you to listen to what some more Mr. Patterson is saying.
Sometime last year, a gentleman whose political persuasion is well known, but whose commitment to community development is unquestionable, sent me a little document, Montego Bay's Path to Transformation, revitalizing the urban core for a sustainable future. And that gentleman was Mr. O. Dave Allen. I want to use it, if I may, to suggest to this forum that the 5 bright, enthusiastic candidates that you have, capable, all-round experience, be invited to bring together all the elements in Montego Bay to work on a development plan for the parish of St. James. I hope when they reach a certain stage, party leader, that you will instruct your shadow cabinet ministers, the relevant ones, to come and sit with them, so that there is a plan for St. James, which has the inputs from those skilled in urban and rural planning, our teachers in education, people in health, engineering, the church, business, both big and small, farmers, the artisans, entertainers, transport, to finalize a comprehensive plan of action for St. James, so that when you enter Jamaica House, after the appropriate signal, you can put in place the wheels to get going
And plan.
to restore St. James to its pristine glory and achieve its full potential. At the center of it has to be education and training. And I can't help but remind you that during my time, I built 17 new secondary schools in Western Jamaica.
You hear that? 17 new secondary schools have been built in the 1990s. How much has been built since this administration come into power? Yet $3 trillion of taxpayers' money is accountable for. $3 trillion of taxpayers' money is accountable for. $3 trillion. How much schools have they built? They're refurbishing a hospital and must be building something else. And I know the hospital can't done bill. I know the hospital cannot done bill. Huh? $3 trillion. In which other modern democracy can this nonsense happen? And no head, no roll. Only in the land of wood and water.
You know, I get plenty barbs, I get plenty licks.
Yeah, man.
I take them in silence. Because whenever I have asked for the verdict of the people, they have given me the sign of approval.
Straight.
You hear that? My Lord.
Education and training is necessary to increase productivity and boost income levels. We saw what happened with the 807s. We are faced with the same thing with the BPOs. We want to lift the training to a higher level so that the income that the people who work in it is increased considerably. I mentioned Petro-Carib a while ago. One of the things that Fidel, Hugo Chavez, and myself talked about.
You know what you're talking about, Petro-Carib? Petro-Carib? Petro-Carib is a Venezuelan fund where Jamaica used to get oil from and so forth. But I wanted to listen to what the former Prime Minister said about he and Fidel Castro and the late Fidel Castro and the late Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. What they discussed in Montego Bay about education. Listen to what the former Prime Minister is saying.
When we met at Rose Hall was the building of a university on the lands at Montpellier. We wanted it to be a training center that brought together the Hispanic countries and the English-speaking countries. Perhaps we have to look at a university now in Western Jamaica of a different kind. You are into the service industry.
Yeah.
So it has to be training, nursing, the creative arts, to provide training which, again, another son of Western Jamaica coined Rex Netterford as the creative imagination. And you have to encompass as well the field of artificial intelligence.
Right.
And
Right.
so long as I'm alive during your term, I'm going to be supporting the MPs from Western Jamaica, because I am a Region 6 man. Time comes for us to have a university of our own down here. Let me close. It is my hope that out of this meeting will come the energy, the determination, the will, the resolve for the party and its exciting team from St. James to continue the fight for building an island where every citizen, regardless of race, gender, class, or creed, will feel valued, nurtured, and respected. I hope all of you in this room, no matter your political affiliation, will agree that for the betterment of St. James, you have to work together with each and every one and the sectors and political perspectives you represent in making the noble parish of St. James a priceless jewel in this paradise which our people inhabit, and to bring real, true, lasting prosperity for generations to come.
There you have it. Yesterday, former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Percival James Noel Patterson, gave a lecture in Montego Bay, learning from history, needed of tomorrow. Patterson was speaking there and he gave us some insightful look into Jamaica's history. He spoke about constitutional reform. He spoke about education. He spoke about security. He touched a little bit on corruption. And all of us who was on this platform, I hope you all learned something. And what I will take away from what the former Prime Minister said is this: that you can affiliate yourself or be affiliated of a party, but your truth, what you need to do is to be a true Jamaican, be a patriotic Jamaican. And Mr. Patterson is telling the Jamaican people that the time has come for us to put away die-hearted this and die-hearted that, and think about this piece of rock. And I've always said to you on this platform here that we must put Jamaica first, not in the political party. And for me to come and hear the former Prime Minister is telling the same thing, that Jamaicans must be Jamaicans first. Put this piece of rock first above any political party. Jamaica has to be first. And I will encourage anyone and everyone to go back, whether you're PNP, JLP, UIC, Never Dare Move, or whatever you are, independent. Go back and listen to Mr. Patterson's speech. Whether it be on my program here or on BOJ TV, go back and listen to it. Mr. Patterson gave a great speech, a lesson that we all can learn from, a great presentation. And so, my fellow Jamaicans, as we close another edition of the MeK Wi Talk program, let us remember one thing: As our national pledge have always said to us, before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the strength and vigor of my body. I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may under God increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. One moment for me. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the MeK Wi Talk program. You're live.
Good morning, Mr. Tavares.
Morning, sir.
I'm so glad that you hear that program. I sent to you last night while you were hosting your program. But there's actually a very few points Mr. Patterson spoke about, which I want Jamaica to watch this program to take heed. When you talk about this constitution and say, if the JP used that is a majority in parliament to push through this constitution, he will be walking on his crutch to demonstrate the length and breadth of Jamaica.
Sir Sam, let me say this to you, Sir Sam. For those who are just joining us, Mr. Patterson said that the Jamaica Labour Party should use their majority in the Parliament of Jamaica to push through this constitutional reform. He, Percival James Noel Patterson, will be taking his walking stick and take to the streets of Jamaica. And let me make something clear to you all. If PJ Patterson decides to take to the streets of Jamaica, my God, the crowd that will be behind him. The crowd that will be behind him is unbelievable. Go ahead, Mr. Sam. You have 2 minutes leave, sir. Go ahead.
When I heard it last night, I said I have to send the program to you. I have to send to everybody.
I was aware of the program, because I was invited. Okay. I was aware of the program, but I didn't get the chance to really bring it over because I had Christopher on.
Right, yes, I realize that. But I'm telling you now, that part of Mr. Patterson's speech touched me to the bone like in the 70s when Michael Manley was marching with the trade union across Jamaica, Israel across.
Yes.
Car from Israel industry. I'm telling you, man, that is a high point of Mr. Patterson's speech. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. One of my audience caller there on the MeK Wi Talk program, Sir Sam. Thank you very much, an elder who I look up to, who have the utmost respect for. And I must say thank him very much for coming on the program. As we said our national pledge, I want you all to know one thing, that if we don't stand up for this country, then when? If we don't speak out, then when will we? And the time for us all to stand up for this piece of rock is now. And as we say goodbye to you all at 11:43 in the morning, February 7th, 2025, let us go out there when the time comes for us to vote. Go out there and vote for the soul of this country. Because the soul of Jamaica's democracy relies on we, the Jamaican people. The soul of Jamaica relies on us. It doesn't matter what party you're from. The soul of Jamaica's democracy is in the palm of our hands. This election is the most consequential election in Jamaica's history. Look out in all part of your eyes. Don't tolerate vote buying. It is your constitutional right to vote. It is your constitutional right to go out there and exercise your franchise. Go out there and vote. Go out there and vote, but make sure that your name is on the voters list. Go out there and vote, but before you do so, Make sure your name is on the voters list. I will not tell you who to vote for. How dare me to do such a thing? But what I would do is encourage every man, every woman, every boy, and every girl who can vote. Go out there and vote for the soul of Jamaica's democracy. Go out there and vote. Vote like your life depends on it. Go out there and vote, my fellow Jamaicans. And if we don't leave a Jamaica for our children a better Jamaica, that when we're all gone, our sons and our daughters can say, yes, our parents has fought for this piece of rock. And for those who live in the Jamaican diaspora, I say to you all this morning, put Jamaica first. Do not put a political party over your country. Do not put a person over your country because they can go and have a photo up with that person. Let us all come together, put all hands on deck. I'm not saying that the Jamaica Labour Party may not have done some good for Jamaica. Maybe they have. But what we need to do as Jamaicans is to put this country before all political parties. Put this country before our friends in politics. And fight for the soul of this rock. Fight for the soul of the democracy of Jamaica. Let Jamaica be the beaming of the Caribbean once more. Let Jamaica be the gem of the Caribbean once more. But all those who come to our shores can say, yes, this nation has rise again. Let us try to let this country rise above all odds. That when a Wilfred Rattigan and a Jeffrey Tavares and others may gone, they may say, yes, those have fought for this country. The Nanny of the Maroon, the Paul Bogle, the Sam Shark, the George William Garden, the Wilmot Mutty Perkins, the Barbara Bluedon, the Winston Babatunda Witter. They have stand up for the soul of this nation, for the democracy of this country. Our change, our choice, our Jamaica. May God bless you. May God bless the people of this country, Jamaica. And may God continue to guide and protect this nation. May God bless our listeners and our viewers on this MeK Wi Talk program. May God bless Walking in Divine Purpose who continue to make sure that this program go out. I want to say thanks to my good friend Wilfred Rattigan, who continue encouraging me, because sometimes I don't feel like doing this. But if we don't do it, then who will? If we don't, then who will? I have nothing against anyone. My heart is clean against all man. I respect the office of the Prime Minister. I don't hate the office of the Prime Minister, nor do I hate the individual. What I would love to see is the changes of this country. The country that I so love, I dearly love. A country in which I see my grandmother, my mother, and my adopted parents fought for. A country in which my grandfather worked as a parish council engineer for many years. He loves this country. He works for this country. And so as I will continue to fight for the democracy of this nation, and I will not be silent And I will not take side for any political party. What I will do is stand up for this piece of rock that we call home. What I will do is fight for the soul and the democracy of this nation called Jamaica and for the people of this country. And as we say so long from here once more, my fellow Jamaicans both home and abroad, put this country first. As what the former Prime Minister PJ Patterson said, yes, you can affiliated with a party, but you must line yourself up and put this country first. The soul of Jamaica is in the palm of our hands, Jamaicans. Exercise it and stand up for this piece of rock. As I said before, may God bless you. May God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. And may God bless the people of Jamaica. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk.
Before we go, I want to remind you and encourage you to join Reason It Right Again tomorrow at 3 p.m. for an exciting episode of Reason It Right Again with your host, the fearless leader, Jamaica's fearless leader, the son of the soil, Wilfred Radigan. Join in tomorrow on YouTube and Reggae Global Radio for an exciting episode of Reason It Right Again. Join him tomorrow at 3 p.m. He has an exciting show coming up for you tomorrow. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Thank you all very much.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. MeK Wi Talk, people, MeK Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, MeK Wi Talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. MeK Wi Talk.